I guess two things happened tonight. Number one, well, a couple interesting things happened tonight. I uploaded a video reintroducing the KO grinder, tool cutter grinder. And I told the story of a lost spring. So I went back to the car wash, I pulled the iron grate, that's steel, it was still heavy. I pulled it off the opening, about 8 feet long and 2 feet wide, 18 inches deep maybe. Went there with a yard rake, big broad head. And you know about what the size of those wishy-washy bays are. I filled one entire side of that bay up with muck. No spring. So I spent $3 spraying all that stuff back into the hole, covering it up with the grate again. And I'm driving home, and Maddie's workshop in Australia had just released a video, so I'm, you know, I like that guy. And he's making springs. So, you know, what the hell? I could order a spring from McMaster Car and pay $40 to have it shipped to me overnight, or I could go home and make a spring. So then I'm thinking, well, what kind of materials do I have? And like always, I look up and there it is hanging off the garage door rail. I got some heavy copper, and copper might not be the best material for a spring, but any instrument strings as big in diameter that I need is usually a round or a flat wound string. It's multiple strings wound together. So I came home and I put the lathe on back gear with chuck engaged, looking for 44 RPMs. And I put a mandrel of types on the chuck and made my spring. And actually I think it's going to be fine. I really didn't anneal at first. I tried to, but with just propane gas and something that long, really, I really don't think I ever got it to temperature to anneal it. I know I didn't, because I would have felt it. But you know, I made a spring, and it's pretty damn taut, and it's also a bit longer than I need. So I'm going to set it aside, and when the time comes, we'll give it a try and see if it's going to work. I think it'll do the job. Basically, it is doing the job that this spring is taken care of. But obviously not for that tailstock. Yeah, I think it's pretty damn hard to compress. And I think, you know, once you do compress it, it's springing back. It may not last long, it probably won't. But in the meantime, I can be on the lookout for maybe a more suitable material. And in the process of setting the gears, back gear, chuck engaged. There's back gear without the chuck engaged and back gear chuck engaged. The clutch wasn't working in the same manner it was, you know, at the higher RPMs, the 4 at 90 and the 800 and the 315 and 190. So I took the plate off and I moved it 2 notches, which is, you know, a couple millimeters. And yeah, and I spent, you know, more time than I would like to admit fiddling with it, doing it 2 notches at a time each direction. Although the more I fiddle with it, you know, the more I start to understand it, and so I feel confident that you know, I'm learning more about it and what the adjustment is doing, and it's something that you all are taking for granted probably, and it comes down to, I think it comes down to, it's a feel thing. It's something, you know, somebody told me, you know, when you're pulling the lever, it's gonna feel like this when it's right, you know, and well, you know, you can describe that to me, but I have to feel it for myself. Yeah, and if I screw around with it long enough, I will have felt everything it has to give. This is actually my first parting on the new lathe. This blade was in one of the toolboxes that I acquired. And it is not critical that this part be dialed in. Okay, looks like I must be without a carriage lock is what I am. As, you know, not having a carriage lock is one thing, and the other thing was I did not have my tool. Is that thing full of oil? I did not have my so this is the clutch engaged here with this gear, so I need, obviously I have more adjusting to do. Maybe one more notch. This is not critical. have a feeling that you're really foggy. Well, I don't know if that's any better or not. I need to get a coffee filter on here. There, that's better. Okay, I have the back gear engaged, and I am, let me see, I guess I can do whatever I want now because it's in neutral. Back gear chuck engaged. I want to do 44 RPMs. Okay, so start her up. I think it's obvious that the chuck is not I did anneal this as well as I could. Okay. Get that there. Should have actually made a couple of winds a little closer together, but that probably won't last very long.
Maybe a tiny bit of glare that is hardly detectable.
Well, let's see if I can get this down into shape. Well, that's about the size spring I need. Whether this is the right material for it or not, I don't know. There'll be more info on what that is for forthcoming. Actually, I think it might suit the purpose.